Ride along live worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the vibe. Amazing host leading the ride. Power to the people we shine. Giving fans what they need. Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along. Join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease.
Time to do better. Beacon's Be Better Group Health Plan now offers new and improved options that make health insurance affordable for small to medium businesses. Good medical cover gives you a competitive edge and takes care of the people that take care of your business. Get a better plan to build a better business. Call Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
To rent a car in Grenada? Welcome to Ride Car Rental, offering efficient, time-saving service with affordable rates and 100% paperless rentals. Whether you're visiting or need a quick ride, we've got you covered. Call now at 473-422-1011 and get behind the wheel today. Ride Car Rental, where convenience meets the road.
Right along live, welcome to the ride. Welcome to Thursday on the ride. Yeah! Back in the air chair. Yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta big up the folks in Toronto, Canada. You guys are the best. None. Canada. Canada have it jet. Big up Canada. And had such a good time. This time around in Canada, I got a chance to rest and relax a little bit because oftentimes when I'm in Canada, it's just a lot of, running around and doing things. But I got a chance to really rest and, it was great. I got to tell you guys a quick story though. Before I got to Canada, halfway there, right? Halfway, because I drove. Halfway there to Canada, halfway to the border, guys, I realized that I forgot my passport. All right, so I left my passport back in New York. Yeah, sad. So I'm thinking, do I go back? Do I head back? Because the only passport that I had was my Grenadian passport. I didn't have no other passport on me. US passport, nothing. And my Grenadian passport doesn't have a Canada stamp in it. So I'm like, no way they're going to let me into Canada, Jed. Lydia, yes, sorry, Lydia. Listen, it was really a rest for me. I was tired. If I get out of bed twice, I got out a whole lot. I didn't even go about the place much. So before I got there, halfway there, I'm like, yo, do I turn and go back? Do I turn and go back or do I head for the border? Because I don't have a passport to get into Canada. I have a Grenadian passport and you don't have a Canadian visa on it. What do I do, right? So I headed for the exit. I headed for the exit. And as soon as I reached to enter the exit, I decided, you know what? I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm gonna drive the remaining 4 hours, because it's about 9 hours to get to Canada. I'm gonna drive the remaining 9 hours and 4 hours to get to Canada. And if they turn me back, I just drive back the 8 hours or 6 hours back to New York. So I got to the border with my Grenadian passport, no Canadian stamp in it. And then I said, okay, my turn to go up to the border agent now. Hey, good evening. Yeah, my turn to go up to the border agent now, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Went up, gave her my Grenadian passport, asked me a bunch of questions. Am I carrying weed? Asked me a million questions. And then she said, go over right there and park. Park right there. We're gonna come and tend to you. So it was very nice. The Canadian authority was very nice and presented my Grenadian passport without any Canadian visa in it. Parked in parking area number 11. And they search your boy like a thief, boy. They search me down. They search inside the car, under the car. They search the car real good. And then they said, you're free to go. I think they asked me my social. Yeah, they asked me for my social. And then they say, okay, enjoy. Yeah. And that's how I was able to get across the border without a US or Canadian passport, with a Grenadian passport, without a visa. But I ended up in Canada. It was nice. Yeah, I was like, yo. So I said, you know what? Good. And coming back was a breeze, because coming back, I'm a US citizen, yes. And I said, I don't have a passport. Here's my Grenadian passport. And they just looked at me, they look at the passport, they say, same name on the US passport? I said, yeah. They just say, oh, go ahead. Nothing. So it's real nice. So big up the Canadian authorities for letting me in without authorization, legal authorization to be there. Yes, Canadians are very loving people. All right? So guys, today, we have an interesting conversation, and it's one that I want you guys to participate in, right? It's a conversation I want everyone to participate in. Now, recently, I saw a post on Gabby. She's going to be joining us as well. Gabby's page, and he said something to the effect that we have to be careful, because if it is like this now, just imagine when it's closer to the election, she believed that there'll be, I don't want to say the word because Facebook is very sensitive to what I say. Anyway, a lot of people being unalived, if you understand what I mean. So she said that. And that kind of struck, that's like, wow. What is fueling all this animosity, all this hatred? Because in Grenada right now, it's like you have two Grenadas. You have a green Grenada and a yellow Grenada, it seems. It seems like the Grenada is partitioned off. It seems like one side is looking at the other side funny, and the other side looking at the other side funny. But the question is, how did we get here? We are a country of 100,000 people, right? 100,000 people. Very small in terms of, 100,000, that's not a lot. That's a small amount of people. But we are divided along party lines. Green so, yellow so. It seems like the green is doing what they have to do to basically protect their political, leadership and their supporters. And the yellow doing the same because they feel like it's them against us, us against them. But the question is, how did we get here? Some might say, this is a curse. This had to be some kind of curse. Because Grenada was never like this. You sure? You sure about that? Well, today we're going to have this conversation. Because based on my, survey and looking at things from all different perspectives, this kind of political instability, which is, not instability, political divide, is not new to Grenada. It's not new to the Caribbean. It it is a worldwide thing. It really happens. It's currently right now something even probably more of a high effect in Guyana, right? Big up to my Guyanese friends and supporters. They are really seriously divided, right? Not only on political lines, on racial lines as well. So Grenadians now are dealing with the effect of political divide. So let's talk about this. Who is fueling this political divide? How did we get here? How did we end up with two Grenadians? US as well, Dominica, yeah, straight across. So it's not something new. So joining us today to help us in this discussion is a gentleman that I promised I'll bring back on the program. Last week or so, we had a very interesting conversation, and his conversation got cut midway, like not midway, almost to the end. But he didn't finish, so I promised that I'll bring him back. So I'm happy to invite back on the platform Mr. William Joseph. He is he wears many hats, and his perspective is respected by many, criticized by a lot as well. But he speaks his mind, if nothing else. Mr. William Joseph always speak his mind. Willie, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, good evening again. I am fine and giving thanks. And good evening to your listeners and viewers.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. And thanks for coming back on. And it was indeed a short notice, and you accepted, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you. So how are you doing today, my friend? How are you doing today?
Yeah, well, as good as could be in the hands of the Lord.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Yes.
Okay, well, Willie, the topic that I want us to start with today, we're going to talk about some other things, but the topic I want to start with here today is looking at the political divide in Grenada. A lot of people saying, you heard my preamble, a lot of people saying that this is real curse, boy. It's like there's two Grenadas. It's like back and forth. Yeah, that fight. What's your take on the political divide, Willie, from your perspective?
Yeah. All right. So thanks a lot. Let me make a try at what is a very important subject, and I don't pretend that I have all the answers at all. But let's see how it goes.
Yes.
The fact that we are this agitated in our politics at this time, to the extent that one is tempted to say, or is that it's toxic and so on, or any adjectives that approximate that, really takes us back to a failure. A failure surrounding our independence project. That is a failure on the issue of national unity. And last time I was here with you, one of the points I made is that, we Grenadians had suffered so much had so many bad experiences in the politics that really and truly we deserved and needed to change gears and to have a new breath of life. But to admit also equally that, these things don't happen automatically.
Right.
People, very important players in the system, would have to commit themselves and help to build national unity. Up to this point, we have not done well with that or on that. I think that we had a great opportunity when we hit the 50th to front burner this issue of national unity, so that we begin that work to take us forward to the next 50.
Right.
There are some other issues, perhaps later we could touch on them. But for purposes of the subject, I think the core point is that we have not done well with this question of national unity. Now, having said that, the political system is what it is. It has always been that way, adversarial politics. And one would expect that from time to time, the mood would change among the supporters the leaders and supporters of the two, in this case, the two significant parties in the country. Now, the third point to make is that we must always remember what it is that happened when the results were what they were in 22. In other words, you had a regime that had enjoyed so much,
right,
and its supporters enjoyed so much, that to lose all of those things, represented for them a situation where they needed to be in a fight to get it back. In other words, they were not going to be patient about getting it back. And so we saw something emerge in the public space, and that is that this thing called scrutiny. I have never seen this extent of scrutiny of a regime by Grenadians of all various walks of life as I see today. Some of that scrutiny is partisan, but some of it is on the part of people who are very level-minded and who are concerned that what they achieved in 22 should grow. In other words, they're very concerned,
right,
that having elected a new regime with a level of expectations, that regime does not suffer pitfalls similar to or even different from what happened with the Congress before.
Right.
So this group of Grenadians who support, in this case, the NDC, have also been vocal in a different way, perhaps, but they are vocal and they are prepared to engage the other side to defend what is now their territory.
Right.
You see?
I see.
So I think that is what is going on. And then we have now the overlay of the internal issues within the new National Party. So there are people, presumably NNP supporters, who by virtue of this situation emerging between Keith and Peter and so on, there is some friction building out there and some noises, some of it discreet, some of it very open. So that's another source, another theater, if you will, of toxicity in the politics. So we're getting it from different points of view, from different interests. But let me say before I stop that, in the 70s, Grenadians, it was natural for us at that time. Agitation politics. The period when we fought Gary and we out on the streets and we rowdy and we persistent and we focused.
Right.
In that so-called struggle of battle. That was toxic also, because there was violence being offered on the other side of that, and so on. And then came 83, and the disappointment of the revolution in terms of its implosion, and a lot of people said, "Boy, I ain't taking part in that thing anymore." So we had. When last have you seen a demonstration in Grenada of any significant size? When last?
True.
We have not had the appetite for it. You see? But now we are living in a period today where we may not have demonstration on the street, but we have the demonstrations on social media.
Right. Well,
and we have it in other places.
Yeah. Because at that time,
Grenadians making noise.
Yeah.
I button for my side and you button for your side, and this and that and the other. So we have a mixed situation on our hands.
And you I think you said it right, because at that time there were no social media to sort of catalyze all of those drama. Like people were speaking, but there was not this outlet where everybody feel like, okay, just press a button and speak to the world. So that protest that you're speaking about is evident on social media, where there are so many platforms. Everybody that has a voice now is essentially believed to be a platform.
That's right. That's right. You see, and when you have that setup, the issue of in the past, the struggle and the noise was around causes.
Yeah.
Causes. In this case, national causes. Today, what is it about? Is the cause about a party or a particular leader? And so on. The thing has, it has fizzled out into something very, very, very different.
Yeah.
Right? But, equally, perhaps because there's an audience for these things, in this case, Grenadian people. And so to the extent that, especially the younger generations, absorb this thing, is going to have some impact on them. They're going to have views about what's going on. And some of them, of course, might contribute to the noise. Right. And when I say noise, I don't mean noise in an entirely negative sense, right? We could make very public noises that are constructive. But we're going to have this mixed bag.
Yeah. Okay. So we're joined right now by Gabby, and Gabby is a friend of the platform. And Gabby remained very, very vocal on social media, continue to be vocal on a range of topics. Gabby, welcome. How are you doing?
Good night, Junior, and good night to your very esteemed guest. Thank you for having me.
No problem. When we started, Gabby, I prefaced the conversation by saying that it was because of a post that you made that kind of made me start to think about a program like this, because you said on your platform Facebook page that the way how things are going right now, you would hate to see how it would look like during the next election season. Tell us why. What made you first make a post like this, and what are you seeing in coming next election season based on your perspective?
Right. So I have a lot of friends who are very vocal online and on both sides, NNP and NDC. And when I say friends, I mean very close friends, people that I talk to on a daily basis. And they engage back and forth online all the time, just discussing politics with different people. And on a daily, I'm realizing now that my friends are coming with stories. And I'm talking about my NDC friends are coming with stories where they're saying XYZ in regards to them being attacked by NNPites. And then my NNP friends are coming with stories where they're being attacked by NDCites. And as I look at the both sides of the spectrum, you realize that people are not discussing politics. People are not discussing the issues. It may have started off as, let's talk about it, let's discuss politics, let's discuss the issues. But it quickly escalates into verbal abuse, threats, as well as an array of different what I would say derogatory comments. And you see it with the people commenting back and forth. You also see it under programs like yours and under programs like GIS and so on. And it really, really, really leads me to wonder, why do we feel like if this type of behavior is okay? Why are we normalizing this behavior now as part of our Grenadian political culture? What it is about cursing out people, degrading people, talking about women's body parts that is so acceptable now to us that we think that we can go ahead on a daily basis acting in this manner. And people are saying, oh, this side is doing it, and this side is doing it, and this side is not doing it. Everyone is doing it. And I can give you personal examples from people who are my friends who've told me stories, and I've seen it myself where people are degrading people. My post prior to that post where I said that if we don't turn around now, we're going to head into a season where it's going to get physically violent, was because I went onto a GIS live and I saw Linda Stricker on there. I don't know anything personal about Linda Stricker, but to me, I know that she's a journalist. She's a part of a press conference and she's asking a question. And whether you like the question or you don't like the question, whether you like Linda Stricker or you don't like Linda Stricker's vagina should not be a part of our conversation about politics. Linda Stricker's vagina has nothing to do with our political system. Linda Stricker, I seen people saying your mother so and so XYZ. Why? What does Linda Stricker mother have to do with politics of Grenada or her vagina? And to me, and men are doing it, it's violence against women. And I realize that no one is speaking up and no one is saying anything. It doesn't matter what you assume someone to be, Lacey J. What the person actually is none of your concern. You can assume someone is anything. Anybody can assume I'm an NNP, I'm an NDC. Somebody could assume I'm a nurse. They could assume that I'm a doctor. That's just an assumption. You have to deal with people on a level of respect. Whether or not you believe they belong to a particular political party, discuss the issues. Talk about the issues. This is a democracy, Junior. And I think that we are moving away or have a lack of understanding of what a democracy is or should be.
Right.
And a lot of people are not understanding that, okay, we live in a country, let's take, for example, the United States. Some people are for abortion, some people are against abortion, right? Does that make you not a non-American because you on either side of the spectrum? No, in a month or two, we're going to vote, and the people who believe that the country should go a certain way will vote one way, and those who believe the country should go in another direction will vote the other way. Now, if you believe and somehow abortion strongly affects you, or the right to abortion strongly affects you, you're going to vote for Kamala Harris because you want that to be a federal mandate, right? If you on the other spectrum and you're conservative and you think that abortion is against the law or whatever it is, you may come and say, you know what? Let me vote for Donald Trump. I think what you all are doing is against God will, XYZ, right? At the end of the day, the best person wins. The country is run by that person for a period of time. Then we wait and we come back again.
Stick up in there, Gabby. 1 second. I want to on the first basis that you spoke about, the attacks, right? Really look at that from the perspective, because you are, I said, probably like a historian to this. Is this new? Is this type of attacks? Is this type of personal engagement something new that you've seen? Willie?
Well, the thing for me, my constraint is that I don't participate on those platforms.
Right.
So I'm hearing things for the first time. I would say historically that individuals have always been targets of attacks by, one side from the other. Perhaps today it is more widespread. There are many, many more people who are on those platforms, I am told. And so we must ask the question, who are they? Who are they? Yes, they're Grenadians, presumably, but what else can we say about them? It seems to me from what I'm hearing that there could be any number of Grenadians on those things whose life, who determine and fix and settle on this question of political enemies.
Yeah.
So you're my political enemy, right? And therefore, because of my cultural level, in other words, where I stand in terms of my headspace and my cultural this and that and so on, and my upbringing and all of that, I am prepared to be derogatory. I must undress the other person. I must belittle the other person.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some people who are better educated who indulge in that, engage in that kind of behavior from time to time. So I suppose what is going on now is that there might well be scores of people who, you remember this, we live in a selfie culture.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things that I have found about this period is this question of individual assertiveness.
Uh-huh.
Whether people are right or wrong, they are prepared to talk because they tell themselves, I can talk.
Right.
I put up my phone, I buy my phone, I have my phone, and I can click here and I can talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know anybody who could stop the talking. The question is, who is listening to that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Who is allowing themselves to be contaminated by that kind of stuff?
But how about those that are not encouraging, but not condemning? Because I'll tell you this, right? I have been the target of many attacks. I don't care because I am in the media. So I am prepared for this, right? I'm fully prepared for this. And I do get attacked. But there are some prominent people that you look at. You look at them as prominent people, but they are a part and parcel of the disrespect. I mean, I'm talking about fake pages and all of these things. Huh?
Yeah, that's right. Because why? Because they're trading in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I could recruit people or encourage people openly or quietly,
right,
to engage in a whole lot of mischief on my behalf, right? The payday is mine. So it's a very dishonest enterprise. Very, very dishonest, very unprincipled.
Mm-hmm.
But they do it because they're looking towards a payday. I will get a benefit from this struggle between fellow Grenadians over typically non-issues.
Right.
Really.
Right. Gabby, you see what's happening on social media.
Right.
Oftentimes, and you said you have friends on both sides. So I see, it sometimes you comment on different topic, but you always, you at least I think that you try to stay at least principled on giving your perspective, your personal perspective, and nobody could wrong you on that. But what's your thoughts on the disrespect that is shown when people that's in prominent position, I'm even talking about fake pages, people that actually have their real name and supporting the nonsense. And it's obviously lies, but they're supporting it. And some of them want to be political figures down the road.
No, some of them are political figures already.
Uh-huh.
let's get that straight. Some of them who are doing it are already political figures.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing where I say that this is where people like you and the media come in to hold people accountable for the divide and the chaos and the mayhem that they spread. Because you see people engaging every single day online.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you see these people engaging online. And as you say, there are prominent people who are engaging in that same type of behavior. But guess what? Nobody says nothing. Nobody holds them accountable. If you realize the other morning, when Kirk was talking about it on the morning show with the issue with Linda Straker, right?
Yeah.
Remember, he said that nobody said anything, or nobody stood up, nobody said stop, nobody stopped it, nobody spoke up about it.
Right.
And I was not on the program when it was live, but I went back after and I commented and I said I was on there for 30 seconds and I did give my piece and say, whoever you are that's saying that and doing this is inappropriate and you should stop. But I think I did not stay very long on the program because that was so upsetting to me as a female. But to me, I feel like if people do it and people laugh, the public laugh because it's entertainment to whoever is on the same side as them. So if somebody says, oh, Junior XYZ. I just received a voice note yesterday with something concerning you and somebody with
Just one you received?
with just one. I just laugh. I just click it off. I didn't even respond to the person because to me it's like, even if what part of what the person's saying may be funny, responding to it gives it life. Responding to it means that you're saying that your behavior is okay. And I feel like when a lot of people do stuff, other people like it, they comment on it, they respond to it, and so they keep doing it because we are normal. That's why I say we are normalizing this type of behavior. And if you really look at it, Junior, from a wider perspective, this behavior really, from wherever it stems from, it's destabilizing the peace of the country, and eventually it's going to spill over. It's a very destabilizing thing to have people constantly threatening other people and constantly on the internet pushing different narratives, whether true or not, and pushing those narratives very violently and very forcefully and and very disrespectfully.
Right. I believe I'm really jumping here. I believe that the fish rotten from the head. So let's look at this situation here from a leadership perspective, right? So probably we could start from there. And let's narrow it down, because if we have to come to some kind of narrative of where the problem is or where the problem starts or what's causing the problem, we have to look at the leadership. Looking at the two leaders, we have the opposition leader and we have the current prime minister. Where have we seen the disrespect coming from these two individuals? Then we go trickle down to the medias and them as well. Where are we seeing that from your perspective, Willie?
All right. So there are two threads. One is what the example of the leaders, and the other one has to do with the state of the Grenadian society. What has happened with us as a civilized nation over the last 50 or so years. And so the older Grenadians will tell you that, listen, the thing has fallen apart. This thing about disrespect and so on for others and for elders and the lack of basic values, all of those, many of those things have gone, virtually disappeared. So the consequences are showing up now in who's alive and who have been breathing that air, that poisonous and empty stuff. And so they find themselves with a powerful tool in their hands where they can express a whole lot of that degrading stuff that is comfortable in their own headspace. For many of them, I presume that's what they know. So they relish that. They trade in that. They make themselves happy with that. And they would say, I don't care about you. I don't care about you. Right? So the society, we have suffered immense disruptions in our society in the form of breakdowns over many areas of social life. Right? And I believe that is partly a part of the explanation for the thing. Now, the leaders. Keith Mitchell has been a leader for many years. And Keith represents a brand that has been very noisy, very aggressive. But I think while that is true, I do not believe that we can say that the brand has been violent. I don't think so. I do not think so. I don't think I've never heard it. I've never seen nor experienced it. That from that particular political brand, we got this sense of, political violence is a way by which we could do our national business. But we've got a lot of other noises that have not been happy or comfortable for a lot of us.
Well, right after Dr. Keith said something, a video leaked on social media where he was saying something to the effect of Bullaman or something like that in that context, right? And shortly after that, all the supporters and them started to brand all the parliamentarians as Bola men. They created memes and videos
Right.
and strict.
You
So
see.
that's what I said. If fish rotten from the head, it trickled down, right? And anyone who they deem as supporters or whatever, they are also is in turn the same name that they call him, but it came from the top.
I have to agree with that 100%, because once one person starts doing it, it trickle down, and then it becomes norm, and everyone is doing it, and then no one seems to understand that it is wrong. Just because the people at the top are doing it and it's trickling down, and you at the bottom, you're keeping up to it more than them. You see what it is, Junior, is that the head leads and the head does it one time, two times, three times for the year, right? But the minions below is doing it 365 days a year.
Yeah.
And if we continue on this path for the next 2 years, there is going to be a point where there's going to be a boiling over. Listen, a friend of mine and I were talking this morning. But we were talking a few days ago. And she told me, she said she was going back and forth with a guy on her page, and the guy came into her inbox, and the guy is an opposition supporter. She's a supporter of the government, and in their exchange, he now knows her address, or what would be her old address, right? But he now knows her address. So he's personally threatening her, but it's a fake page. So we saying he, but it could be she, it could be, you don't know who it is.
Right.
So here she is, somebody's threatening her, and the person has her address. So you have gone out of your way to find this person's address. What are you going to do next? We are 2 years away from an election, and you have her address and you're threatening her. And this is 2 years out. What are you going to do when it's 2 weeks to an election and she has an opinion that is different from yours? Fundamentally, she is supposed to have an opinion, and whether you like that opinion or not, you can carry on with your life. You don't have to go to somebody's inbox and threaten them. You don't have to disrespect people. You can simply give your point of view, disagree, and move on.
Move on, yeah.
A close friend of mine this morning, the same friend called me back. She asked me if I told somebody her name or whatever. And it was the first time I'm hearing the lady's full government name. And I said to her, you do realize that these people have your address. They now have what is your full government name that other people do not know. Me and you've been friends for so long, and I did not even know that was your name. So I said, haven't you realized that these people have run a background check on you? Do not put two and two together. If you have my address, you have my name, that is my government name that I do not use, that nobody else knows. And the only thing I'm doing that affects you is commenting differently from you online in terms of my point of view on the government. And you are doing that 2.5 years out of an election. What is going to happen 2 weeks before the election?
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Yeah. You know, okay, so I hear my sister. Let me tell you, on the streets of Grenada, where they are live and visible people, on the streets, in the markets, I go to the market every Saturday morning. I interact with scores of ordinary Grenadians. At events, I just came from a credit union event, many hundreds of Grenadian citizens there. In neither of these three places do I pick up this cantankerous and vicious kind of conduct on the part of people. I hear people talking among themselves about what they don't like, about the present regime, about the opposition. But I don't hear nastiness, quote unquote. I don't hear that. Right? I don't hear it on the streets in Grenada. Perhaps I don't go to as many places as others, but the places I go, I don't hear these things.
Willie, but I
So,
think people are a bit more vocal behind a keyboard, because the thing
ah,
somebody will
Yeah.
will say to your face is not the same thing that they will say. They will say they will say something completely different behind a keyboard. But then again, a lot of these people are hiding. Some of their true identities are not known. So at the end of the day, you don't even know who is attacking you from who is not attacking you.
yeah. So you know this thing about, I understand. There's the appetite for it in a context where, as I said at the top, people believe that they have lost something of value to them. They want to get it back as quickly as possible. You now have what I believe belongs to me. So I am prepared to trash you.
Right.
I'm getting that stuff. I'm prepared to trash you. Right? This morning I encountered many of the leaders of the NNP in a certain place, just by accident. And they all know me. They know my politics. They hear me. But each one of them, over a 10 or 15-minute period at different times, they were not in a bundle, recognized and extended a hand.
Right.
Very, very, very polite and civil. So the example needs to be set in a more wholesome and a much broader way, so that people down the order do not take it upon themselves to trade in this kind of, terrible, unbefitting conduct.
Yeah,
Doesn't
you
help
are
anybody.
very, very valid point there, because I tell you what, just like Soca Monarch, Calypso Monarch, back in the days when I remember Specky and Wizard and all of them, in performance, they're going at it, and their fans think it's so serious. They think Jamo and they in beef, and it was just a stage war. Specky and Wizard and all of them, after they go off stage, they laugh, they giggle, they think, but their supporters is still in that mindset. I tell you this, I'll go this far. Sheldon Scott is someone that I knew way before he started his program. Sheldon knew me way before as well, right? Although I chose some bars at Sheldon, I met Sheldon. Sheldon came by my my booth in the mall. The man gave me a big hug. I don't have nothing against Sheldon personally. Sheldon don't have nothing against me personally. And we don't fight. When I see Sheldon, I don't go and square him up, although he said the worst things about me. I probably said some things about him as well. But we don't square each other up. But the supporters and some of the people who might be under that, they're taking it personal. So that's the same thing I believe that the politicians at the head need to do. You need to set the tone. If you set the tone as an aggressive tone, your supporters will be aggressive. And that is what's happening here. The tone is being set from the top.
But I think this is where people like you and other people in the media come in, because we're seeing where this is headed. And whether we want to believe it or not, it's just a part of our reality now. And I think it's very important that people like us in the media set a tone where we let our supporters know, you let the people who are your viewers know that, listen, you are entitled to your opinion. It is your fundamental right to have your opinion. But just because you have an opinion does not mean that somebody else is not entitled to a different opinion than you, and that your both opinions are not equally valid.
Right. And you want to know something, Gabby? That is exactly precisely my premise. I have never, and anyone could pull up that clip, any clip of me disrespecting any political figure in any kind of derogatory way, tag me that footage. I have never, as a member of this media entity, being on this platform here, come out and disrespect anybody in any kind of way, call them out of their name. I give my opinion because I'm a vlogger. That's my job. I give my opinion, right? And I've always said, even during the election time, nobody could tell you who to vote for. You vote for who you want to vote for. I have never came here or on any platform and say vote for X, vote for Y, vote for Z. It is you have a personal, arrangement with when you go into that polling booth. And it might affect you personally. Like you may have a contract with someone and if the other government come in power, you will lose that contract. I remember flying planes with certain individuals. And as soon as they get off the plane, protocol take them straight off. You think they want to lose that? No, they're not having that. No, they vex. Why they vex? Because they don't have that anymore. That is part of the problem, right? But me personally, I have never disrespected anyone in a way, I come out and calling people and disrespecting people and this type of things. Media have a role to play. And I believe we have to play our role sensibly. But I believe also, Willie, you could jump in here. I believe that some people hold the media and myself and other individuals in a higher regards than some politician. Some politician, I believe, would go into parliament and blatantly lie. They would go on media and lie. They would not even do research. But if a media practitioner would not do research, we will be called out. We will be damned to hell if we do something like that. So are we more of a higher regard than the politician?
I think that people are just used to politicians saying stuff that's not true and grandstanding, whereas media personnel are not so colorful.
Oh, okay. All right. Willie?
Yeah, well, it is very interesting, very, very interesting. Listen, they are pretty good and upstanding politicians.
Uh-huh.
And they are politicians who really don't set any examples for anybody. And we get it all the time. We've always had the mix. Similarly, or likewise in the media, there are folks in the media who make sense, and there are folks in the media who just need to be going to school every day before they come out. But I think at the end of the day, I think what is beneficial or what could be beneficial to the society, and I think I'm trying to build on what my sister has been advocating.
Gabby,
that we find ways to message to the politicians to say, listen, here, this is what is happening with our Grenadian people on these platforms. It's not going to help the nation. We're not going to achieve anything good and positive if we keep doing this among ourselves. So listen, just keep telling your folks, behave better, tone it down, tone it down, tone it down. We lost the elections. You lost your goodies. But we have an opportunity next time around, if we do our work well, and if we assume or if it turns out that the incumbent does not do its work well, the people might come back to us. Listen, the honor of our country belongs to the people. It doesn't belong to politicians.
True.
It doesn't belong to politicians. We give them these privileges. The thing is ours. I remember during the last campaign, when, some of us were involved in shaping some of the thinking going through. One of the messages that we sent was to say, listen, Deacon, the case is not your case. The case is the people's case that they want you to prosecute on their behalf.
Right.
You see, this thing is very important because if you don't begin from that kind of foundation, and you win the thing where you don't tell yourself that this thing really belongs to the people, you're going to crown yourself. You're going to say it's mine. And therefore, you're going to take to it whatever weaknesses, whatever this and that you have at a personal level. And it's not going to help us.
Right.
And then I said, before I shut up, I said that the last time that it's a cultural thing with us. We cut our leaders a whole lot of slack.
True.
The things that the leader that you and I cannot do, people allow leaders to do them. and they close their eyes or they pretend they can't see or this and that and the other. Why? Because the thing is surrounded by something called interest.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are prepared to trade values and principles and so on, and even the greater good, if we believe that we could achieve, we could gain, we could get a personal benefit in some form.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the nature of the thing. Presumably, we will always have some of that, and therefore the thing must be, how do we endeavor to minimize that kind of the presence and the incidence and the effects of that kind of conduct?
Right.
How can we do that? Because we should do it, right? And this 50th anniversary, we're missing something big. The point about the state of the society. I mean, you know, Gabby is describing a whole lot of stuff. You know, we see it elsewhere in various forms. The thing has almost gone to the dogs.
Yeah. Guys, we're having this conversation here. Sorry, Willie. We're having this conversation. I want you guys to participate in it. You could call number 718-701-5720. The number is on the screen. You could call and participate, because I think we really need to, after we leave here, we should have a call of action, what we do next from here. There have to be a change in this. Gabby, you said something earlier. I want you to exponent a bit on it. So you're saying, from what you feel, is that people expect politicians to lie and not do their research and behave badly. But if someone like myself come in and give a piece of news and I said, well, you know what? John down the road told me that, you know, I don't really, you know, John, I'm saying it like if it's true, but really and truly, it's John down the road who tell me that, you know, and somebody tell John down the road that, you know. Are we being held at a higher regard than politicians?
I think that people in the media are held at a higher regard than politicians, right? Because when you publish news that is not correct, everybody wants to murder you, right?
Yeah.
However, when politicians say things that are incorrect, their supporters defend them instead of saying that what they said is incorrect. And generally they get a pass. People just let it go. But in your cases and in other journalists' cases, people definitely, I feel, hold journalists to a higher standard than they hold politicians. And I mean,
well, let me say that. I want to correct you there. I'm not a journalist. I'm a vlogger. Here's the difference.
We lumping you in the journalist category.
I have never been a journalist, right? I'm a vlogger. Here's the difference. As a vlogger, I get to express my personal opinions on topics, right? I give my personal opinions. I say that's what I believe. That's what I think, right? As a journalist, you can't come with that. As a journalist, you have to report part A, side B. It's nothing about your personal, how you feel or how you think about it. That's the difference.
But listen, when you started this page with us back in the days,
right,
with 50 people looking on here, it's a different page now. You have millions of engagements every month. This is a different kettle of fish you hold.
Right.
But you can say whatever it is that you want to say you are. But
you have to be understood. You have to be understood. That a journalist is not supposed to inject their personal opinion on things. A journalist is someone who get the story from side A, side B, and present the facts, right?
Just the size of the story.
Yeah.
Right.
So people who are masquerading as journalists are not doing that. They're essentially vloggers. They are vloggers. That's what they do. And vloggers are opinionated people. So I don't want to get lumped into the journalist category and then people go say, oh, how are you being this side or that side for giving your opinion? And they say, okay, well, you're not a good journalist. I never was trained to be a journalist. I'm a vlogger. I give my opinion. And I think I need to say this again for clarity, because I don't know if the expectation is that I'm going to do what journalists do. I bring information, I make sure it's factual, but I'm not a journalist. I just wanted to put that out there because I said it
Yeah,
before.
you see, so you make this cute distinction.
Yes.
But culturally, people see and perceive people in the media with colored eyes. There's no such thing in people's minds of some innocent journalists. You go do a piece of work and so on, or whoever it is in the media personnel, and they're going to search you out. Tell me now, who is the people in Grenada? Who they support?
Yeah.
Who they support? When he come down the last time, who he bring money for? You see, and so they're going to find ways to color you.
Yeah.
Even if professionally you hold yourself at a certain standard in the delivery of your information
Absolutely.
or your sharing. You see?
Absolutely.
So we are reducing many things to the color.
Yes.
Party issue. And
Because
that is part of the problem that we have.
A part of the problem is, I believe in Grenadian context, is that everybody wants to see you either A or B. Because I remember, Gabby, I'm sure you remember, the election before this one, I started off doing a poll, right here on this platform. And this poll is a reaction poll, right? It is controlled by the viewers. So if the viewers press thumbs up, it comes positively to one party. And it's just entertainment. For me, it's entertainment and see the reaction from the people. But it's numbers, and you've seen the numbers. So the election before this one, the NNP was winning every single poll. Every time I did the poll, NNP won. I did the poll, NNP won. Until people on NDC started to cuss me. They say, oh, you're tweaking the poll to NDC. Oh, what kind of nastiness is that? They say, you're NNP, dirty NNP. They call me all kind of dirty NNP, right? I didn't say nothing. I say, all they say what all they want. I don't control the poll. If all you want all your side to win, then invite all your people, share and press the number so your number go up. But last election, I did the same exact poll, Willie. Nothing changed about the poll. Nothing changed, right? Same studio, everything. NDC won every poll, right? NDC won every poll. No, you dirty NDC, you this NDC. And the funny thing is, because I'm a businessman, I tell you this, I'm a businessman. Money don't color to me, right? I proposed during the election, the same proposal I sent to NNP to advertise is the same proposal I sent to NDC to advertise. This is an open platform, and you know how media works. You want to advertise? Advertise. One side decided advertising, one side decided not advertising. So of course it looks skewed. Of course it would look skewed because why? One party decided, you know what? I stayed far away from this fella. He's not one of us, right? I'm going to keep...
That's because of the poll. That's because of the poll.
Because of the poll, right? I'm going to keep an arm's length away from this guy because, you know what? His poll is not skewed to us. And then now the other party benefited from, this is a large platform, right? This is a large platform. And this whole thing with the memes and the pages and all of this thing started because of this, you know, because of the poll. When each one of them have an equal opportunity to benefit from it, one chose not to, one chose to. I'm still, listen, money don't yellow or green to me. I live in New York.
You're still open to promoting whoever is paying.
Everybody, it doesn't matter.
You see, in the political sphere in this thing, there are some things that don't count. You see this thing called fairness.
Yeah.
I have to be fair. Those things people don't trade on those things. They trade on interests.
Yeah.
Interests. And if this man is believed to be making his platform available for the people on the other side to benefit,
he's not for me.
This man is not for me, and therefore I am going to undress him. They don't leave it there. They don't say this man is not for me and leave it there. They are going to undress you.
Yeah,
it is something in our psyche that we must break the other person.
Yeah.
We must belittle them so they become a non-person just because of a political difference.
Yeah.
That's the sad part of it.
Yeah.
But we must look to see who among us practice that kind of thing. It's going to be a difficult and long process to re-educate many, many people who did not have perhaps the benefit of, a reasonable development in the thing, so they could reason, they understand this thing about balance and fairness, that the world is not only about politics, green or yellow. There are other important things that before we were green or yellow in terms of party supporters, we were all Grenadians.
True. Absolutely.
All Grenadians. That must count for something. We must make it count for something. And that's where the unity thing comes in. The example that the leaders must show us that even in the context of the adversarial politics, we can demonstrate that this is one nation, one people.
Mm-hmm.
We get it. The national anthem tells us that,
Yep.
It's right there. Those lyrics are right in the anthem that we sing so proudly. It's right there. But we do precious little to live it out.
That's so true. Let's jump to the phone. We got a caller on the line. Caller, you live? Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Houston, Junior. Do you and Ken Jones are friends? You need to start respecting people too, because you have a lot of followers.
All right. Start over again, caller. Say it again.
Do you and Ken Jones are friends?
If me and Ken Jones
Hold
on. Slow down. You're asking me if me and Ken Jones are friends, right?
Yeah, so if somebody is a friend to another person, they could pull them aside and give them a good advice, because it starts with him too. He's a blogger. You have a lot of followers. So
caller,
if you start disrespecting...
Caller, listen to me. I'm friends with Ken Jones. I'm friends with Peter David.
Mm-hmm.
I'm friends with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Grenadian. I don't see color, right? Secondly, Ken Jones run his platform. Ken Jones can't come and tell me how to run my platform. Ken Jones can't come and tell me what to say on my platform, right? And
but we could give
I cannot and will not call Sheldon Scott or any one of them and tell them how to run their platform, and I won't do it for Ken Jones either.
It's not.
It is his program. It is his program to run his program how he feel like he want to run his program. Oftentimes, if the situation presents itself that Ken Jones seeks my advice on his programming, I will give him my advice on his programming. Other than that, Ken Jones dare not tell me how to run my platform. He never called me one time and told me X, Y, or Z with my platform, and I wouldn't reciprocate that either.
The point I'm making is if I'm friend with somebody, I could call them personal and give them advice and say, hey, this is totally disrespectful when you're calling people's name, because you are a part to play in the media. So it's not on air, it's not nothing. If I'm a friend with somebody, I could give them my opinion.
Caller, there are
many
disrespect. There are many disrespect on all sides, right? There are many disrespects on all sides. Just like how I have how I have never called Sheldon Scott or anybody else in, whether it's support of me or not, I wouldn't do that with Kem. And they are happening on both sides, as Donald Trump would say.
Yes, they are do, but so why you not disrespecting nobody, because you got morals and standards?
This is my program, and this is how I decide to conduct myself on my platform, right? But as I said, Ken Jones have his platform. Ken Jones have the way how he speak. I dare not go and tell anyone to do your program the way how I do my program, because that would be disrespectful. I stay in my lane.
Advice to another friend. If I'm doing something wrong and me and you is friend, I expect for you to tell me when I'm wrong. Even though we're not friends, just as brothers.
Go ahead. Your opinion or whatever of Kem doing, whatever Kem is doing is wrong to you,
To
right?
you, yeah.
No, Junior George may not share your opinion. And this is exactly the thing that I am saying. You may feel like if someone is disrespectful, or you may not agree with the way someone is going about doing whatever it is that they are doing. Do yourself a favor. Block, delete, unfollow. But
No,
Junior
but we
George
have
does not
moral
have
stand,
to share your
but we have moral standards. We have
But
moral standards. We have moral standards
Yeah,
in life.
Kola, but you say moral standard is like beauty, is in the eyes of the beholder, right? If you think that Kem Jones' content is disrespectful, why are you watching his content? Why are you paying attention to what he says? Why are you engaged?
But
No, answer this question. Why are you watching his content?
Sometimes you go because he gives information sometimes.
Okay, do you like the information that you see from him?
Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad.
Well, he's not programming. He's not just the same problem I have with people. He cannot program his content only for your satisfaction, right? He cannot just program for you. He has many viewers, many people with different interests, right? You see, if it's something people come to me and say, okay, why don't I do all of this? Like, I am not programming for one person. I'm programming for thousands of people that need thousands of different things. So if there is a particular content that you see that doesn't fit your fancy, just click away. Just go and watch something else. Why can't you do that?
That's fine.
So how difficult is that to do?
It's not, but I'm just saying, if me and somebody is friend, and then if me and somebody is friend, and or even I is not friend, and I see somebody doing something wrong, I could just pull them and say, yeah, young man, I don't think that's the way you should do it. You could take my opinion, you could don't take it. It's up to you to take it or don't take it. You know, that's the same point you guys saying. I could turn up, but I'm entitled to see if something go doing wrong, I could tell that person something. It's their choice to take it or don't take it. The same way too.
Okay, go ahead.
But it's your choice to
communicate.
All right, appreciate that. Gabby was saying something?
I'm saying that it's his choice to communicate to Kem how he feels, but he cannot expect you to communicate to Kem how he feels
about him.
It's the way you feel.
Exactly. Let's go to the next caller. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Good night, Junior. Calling from Grenada.
Grenada, go right ahead.
Very interested topic, and I think we need to get back to what you're talking about, how we get here with the behavior we exhibit into each other in regards to political views others may express. And I am a child of the 70s, regarding independence. And unfortunately, I was not in Grenada for the revolution. During the revolution, I came back to Grenada after the revolution. So I never saw any of the revolution, to be honest with you. So that part, I am a bit, did not have the personal experience of it. I have the personal experience of the politics in Grenada over the last 23 years. And I have seen it changing rapidly in the advent of what we call social media. And we have to be very careful with when we say social media and the traditional media that we know, radio, terrestrial radio, I should say, newspapers and TV.
Right.
And you would distinguish yourself by saying that you are not a journalist, which would put you in the class of being in one of those traditional media platforms, correct?
No, I'm not a journalist. I'm a vlogger.
Right.
In my
understood clearly.
go ahead.
So I understood that clearly. So you're a vlogger and you're expressing your opinion.
Yes.
What your guest is speaking and commentating on is on the social media platforms. People are on there and they're berating and degrading each other for whatever reason. Now, if we look at the majority of the social media that we consume comes from foreign places. Good example. what happened in January the 6th in the United States. That started on social media and expanded on social media. And it ended up in a place that was very ugly.
Right.
We can agree on that. No. If we in Grenada is continuing on that path, being derogatory to each other, not respecting each other, threatening each other, that's a very slippery slope, my friend.
Right.
A very slippery slope. Social media things can grow and grow very rapidly on misleading information, a tiny little speck of accuracy, and the majority of it is inaccurate. And it turns into something totally ugly.
Right.
People get killed on things on social media. Yeah? So I think what I forgot her name, the young lady has brought to our attention what is going on, Gabby. Forgive me, Gabby, for what is going on. And nobody's calling it out. Everybody's sitting back and laughing like it's a big joke. It is not. People, it is not. We have to stand up and say, hold up. You're way past the line. And Gabby, if my memory serves me right, isn't somebody supposed to report these things to Facebook, Twitter, and all these people say, hey, listen, this thing is inappropriate. This needs to come down. Yeah?
I think what it is that because we're such a small country, a lot of the times what we may see as inappropriate. I mean, there are things that are straight up just inappropriate, but a lot of the times things that may come across as misinformation, Facebook is not that deep enough to understand the small, nuances of our small population. So sometimes it goes over their heads in terms of people reporting it, and sometimes people just don't report it. Also, what you realize, there's a vast amount of fake pages where people decide to make a page Tom Brown, and Tom Brown is actually Gabriella Bernard, and Gabriella Bernard is out there acting to be somebody else. And when that page gets reported and taken down, there's no real investigation in terms of the government and so on into people's IP addresses and stuff like that. So they just make another page and they start back under a different name.
Yeah.
Well, you see, that's the ambiguity that is given to us by social media. And we sit behind the keyboard and we are empowered. Yeah? We are empowered. We have this tool in front of us that gives us a voice. Now, some of us use a voice for something good. Some of us use a voice for others. Yeah? But I disagree with you, Gabby, where you say Facebook doesn't understand our nuances. AI is very smart. AI is watching what we're doing and it knows what the difference is already. We have to report it. And then they will start taking action on it. If we're not doing it, it will just continue because they are assuming that we are accepting it as okay. Mm-hmm. And if we start saying, no, this is not okay, the AI would pick that up and start deleting it because it's not okay. It's been reported. The thing doesn't learn by itself, We have to give it the input. And if we're giving it the input, it don't stop. But Gabby, thank you for bringing this to our attention. And I've been watching it.
Yes.
And just as Mr. Joseph, I'm not a big social media fan. I would say I'm really an infant where that's concerned. But I'm starting to pay attention to it because I'm recognizing it has an impact on my life.
Yes.
Yeah? And don't be fooled by it. It does, and it will affect the next election, general election. Don't be fooled by it. It will, and it will affect it drastically. So people, start paying close attention to what is said. And I can go and do a video and say it is the opposition leader saying this.
Yeah.
The man never did anything like that. Yeah? So let's be very careful in what we're consuming, especially on social media.
Thank you so much, Carla.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you so much. Yes. We're talking here live. Want to get your input on it. Mr. Joseph, what's your thoughts thus far?
Well, it's shaping to me as if, there's a growing need, certainly will be, for alternative supply of information to people. If you can't shut down or, X but you could build out Y as a counter in terms of information, in terms of education and building understanding, then that's a response. That is a response.
Absolutely. Eyelash, I mean, Gavi, sorry.
Watch, I doing me too much tonight.
You get to respond.
I agree with the caller. Most of what the caller said. I do feel like there are things that Facebook understands, and I do feel like there are pages and persons that need reporting. But also, sometimes what you report, if it's not going against Facebook standards, if it's not hate speech or violent, they don't take it down. And that does not mean that it's not that doesn't mean that it's not incorrect information or misinformation. But anyways, I agree with the caller, and we really as a people need to start doing better. And a lot of the comments that reading here with people, a lot of people are saying that other people are doing it, this person is doing it. And so because I'm doing something and it's wrong, if, as my mother say, if I jump over a cliff, you're gonna jump over a cliff too.
Right.
The thing about it is, people, we are trying to raise awareness to tell you that if you're debating the facts and you're debating politics, that's fine. That's normal. That's a part of our culture, as we should. But when you get to a disrespectful place, report the person who is being disrespectful to you and move on. Instead, you being disrespectful back to the person. Now, other people are climbing on. And what we have is a pylon of everybody disrespecting everybody. And yes, Junior, I agree that it starts from the top and blah, 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 blah. But at the same point in time, we also have to hold ourselves accountable for our own personal choices and decisions.
Absolutely. And you're completely right. I believe that everyone have a role to play in terms of their information consumption. Like you wouldn't watch, like I've seen it so many times. People will come under here and curse me to, like, damn me to hell, say the worst set of things. They hate watching this platform. This platform is the worst thing, everything bad. But at the end of the day, they're commenting under every single post. Like why? Like why would you do yourself these things? Like, why would you be a part of something that you don't want to be? I don't want to deviate too much from the original topic, because I think that there need to be personal responsibility. And I'm not even taking myself away from the toxic nature of what's happening here. I believe that me and every other media practitioner have a responsibility to calm the temperature. And I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. We need to seriously think about what we're saying and the information that we're putting out there, because we could cause a riot. Media could cause a riot just by being on here and putting forth some fact or information that is not facts, and changing around the truth or presenting something that is not factual could cause a riot. Media could do this. We have to be responsible. And I'm not only blaming the politician, I'm blaming some media practitioners, people who are not even vloggers or trained people in media, journalists or whatever. They are now coming on board, pressing that go live button, and their whole purpose is to curse people out. That is the whole purpose. The sad thing about it is the politicians who are supposed to be at least above that, they are supporting these type of nastiness and nonsense. And that's where I have a problem. We need to wheel that back in. And politicians have to be responsible as much as media practitioners need to be responsible. So really, where do we go from here? What's the next step do you think that we need to engage in as a media, as politicians, as supporters, to try to calm the temperature?
Yeah, well, I think we are confronting a very unhappy and dangerous situation. And because of the nature of that, it makes sense for people with influence, for people with control of platforms to come to the table and to begin to position alternative education in people's heads.
Yes.
I think that is something, the thing will grow. It will grow. It starts somewhere and it will grow. If people remain quiet or there's just an occasional chat about it, then you're not going to get very far. But if there is a serious and consistent effort to plant alternative or different perspectives in people's minds in the simplest ways possible, I think that would help. The broader issue, of course, is what has become of our Grenadian society and what we're going to do about it. And this goes beyond political behavior. There are many other aspects of our society, of our national business that we need to clean up, right? And the opportunity is available. The instrumentality is that of the people who lead the political parties, whether in government or outside of government, to provide this kind of leadership to the people. So we begin to talk to ourselves about ourselves. It's amazing how we've been so afraid to do so when it comes to serious matters.
True.
But we do so when it's cussing me and cussing you.
Yeah.
Let's talk to ourselves about the important things in the life of the Ghanaian society. And I think that is one of the things that we owe to ourselves as we grow into the next 50 years as an independent country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we may join the miners, man. We may join the miners. Seriously. Gabby, what next? Call to action. What we do?
Guys, I think what it is that we do is we all hold ourselves responsible.
Mm-hmm.
We call out the people who we see doing it. Like the callers before stated, report these fake pages. If every one of you decide to report pages that you know are fake, we're going to get rid of a large amount of these pages. They're going to keep coming back and we keep reporting them until they go away, because a lot of these... Sorry. Yeah.
You were saying a lot of these, that's where you were.
Did he?
Hello? All right, did we? I think, okay, we lost Gabby. She's back now. All right. Yeah, Gabby, you're back.
Right. So I'm saying that a lot of these fake pages seem to be the crux behind a lot of these issues. So I think, one, we report the fake pages. Two, we hold ourselves to a higher standard in how we debate and how we communicate with people. We don't always have to go down to people's level and standard. And sometimes it's best to just report the negativity or not even negativity, but the disrespect and the verbal abuse and stuff like that. Report it. If it's somebody that you know, talk to them outside of the social media platform. Reach out to them directly and say, hey, I was having a discussion with you, and it did not need to go that far, because we can all discuss politics, but we can all stay away from abusing people verbally, and we can all stay away from threatening people.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah, man.
Because if we don't do this, eventually, as tensions rise in our country and as the elections become closer, each person on each individual side is going to feel like they have some means and ways and authority to continue to escalate their behavior. And it's not going to be good for us. This is not the country that we want for ourselves. This is not the country that we want for our future generations. And at the end of the day, sometimes we need to think about the future of our nation.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. As I said, that me personally, I don't trouble nobody. I don't cuss out nobody. I don't go and cause no rift between nobody, but I'll defend myself, right? I'll defend myself. And often I do. Oftentimes I do. And sometimes,
oftentimes you don't.
oftentimes I don't. I choose, if it reaches to the level, I leave that one like bray. That's what I say. They go stop braying just now, and it dies out. But I don't interfere with nobody. Let's make it clear. Willie, your final word, sir.
Well, I thought I had given it a while ago. I thank you for the opportunity and also for sharing with Gabby, my sister. This is good for Grenada, and I think we must always encourage ourselves to talk to ourselves about what is good for Grenada. We're not going to get solutions to our problems by one stroke of the pen. Many of these things run deep, and so it's going to take time and effort grinding it through. But I think the start is important and is good, and I think we just need to keep in focus, as I said, what is good for this country that we all love. If we love our country, we have to find ways in which we bring all the people into that love circle. We can't say love country and we ain't loving one another.
That's right.
That's a contradiction right there.
That's right.
So I thank you, and I thank Gabby for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. Gabby, we'll keep in touch, all right? Fix up that thing when you get up. No, Gabby.
I'm done with you from today, okay? Bye.
That is gonna be a meme. I swear. That. Guys, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Right along live. Gabby did it. Lord have mercy. Guys, don't forget that this Saturday, we have a ride, right? So we have a ride, e-bike excursion in Grenada this Saturday. Usually we have it on a Sunday, but this week it's on Saturday, right? We have a few more bikes remaining. So if you want to be a part of our ride this Saturday, please give us a call. The number that you call is 473-422-1011. Yeah, ride e-bike excursion and tours this Saturday. Be a part of the ride. It's going to be an epic ride. So call again, the number 473-422-1011 and register to be a part of Ride Excursion e-bike ride this Saturday. Also, guys, I have to tell you about this. As said earlier, our new addition to our fleet has arrived. It's the Ride Tuk-Tuks. Yes, the Ride Tuk-Tuks. And thanks to all of our followers and supporters worldwide. We ask for assistance in naming those tuk-tuks. So far, we got the names. So this one here is going to be called the Ambassador. Yeah, the Ambassador. And the other one, where is it? It's going to be called the Patriot. Yeah, the Nutmeg Patriot. And you guys came up with those names. So thanks for that. Right, so we starting our first ride, Tuk-Tuk rides. This one is called the History of Grenada Tour. And that's going to start on the 10th of November. All right, so be the first. You could be the first to be a part of our Ride Tuk-Tuk rides, excursion rides, and tours. We have beach hopping tours. And if you have a loved one, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, and you want to take them out, we have a next tour called the Love Under the Starlight. Yeah, Love Under the Starlight. It's going to go through Christmas and up to Valentine's. Love Under the Starlight. You could take your boyfriend, your girlfriend out. Just you and them. Get in the ride all through. We provide, of course, complimentary champagne, roses, food. It's real nice. So you can sign up to be a part of the Love Under the Starlight tour. Quarantine point. You know, be real nice. So that new thing that we're bringing, guys, brand new thing that we're bringing is Ride Tuk-Tuks. Right? And this is what it looks like. It's like a little bike. Just you And not a whole set of people in there, you know. Just you and your significant other and the driver. Right? Just you and the next person in the back there. All right? Yeah.
Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright, tune in, feel the light.
Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
To rent a car in Grenada? Welcome to Ride Car Rental, offering efficient, time-saving service with affordable rates and 100% paperless rentals. Whether you're visiting or need a quick ride, we've got you covered. Call now at 473-422-1011 and get behind the wheel today. Ride Car Rental, where convenience meets the road.
Time to do better. Beacon's Be Better Group Health Plan now offers new and improved options that make health insurance affordable for small to medium businesses. Good medical cover gives you a competitive edge and takes care of the people that take care of your business. Get a better plan to build a better business. Call Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
Today. Located inside Ryder Excursion at the Esplanade Mall, we handle both small and large orders with speed and precision. For fast, quality t-shirt printing, call Instaprint at 473-422-1011. Get your perfect print today at Instaprint. Printing done in an instant.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot-type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, up, up several notches, but the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Yes, don't forget, guys, if you have a business and you want to advertise on Ride Along Live, give us a call. Yes, give us a call. 718-701-5720. Get your word out. Get the word out. Live on Ride Along Live. Reaching over 10 million. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Whole lot of people.
Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island.
Yeah, advertise Ride Along Live. It don't cost a thing. It pays to advertise.
Or event to the next level? Advertise on Ride Along Live and reach over 10 million viewers worldwide every month. With a global audience tuning in for the latest news, entertainment, and culture, your message will get the exposure it deserves. Don't miss the opportunity to showcase your brand to a diverse and engaged audience. Ride Along Live, where the world watches and your business grows.
Contact us today to get started.
Yeah. Also, guys, we have a Riders Got Talent type of thing going on, right? So the Riders song, the Ride Along song, if you feel like you could sing or perform, You want to win 150 US? Get that song. It's on the page.
Caribbean spirit.
And do a really nice rendition of the song with the instrumental.
Plant the seed.
And just so you could win some money. Yeah. Let me put on the instrumental.
Ride along live worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the vibe. Amazing host leading the ride. Power to the people, we shine. Giving fans what they need. Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed.
Ride along. Join the dance. Just sing the thing. Sing it.
From island to island.
And you could win. Easy so. Yeah, man. Real easy. Can't get easier than that. Guys, if you're looking for a car rental in Grenada,
energy high, heart so bright.
Check out Ryder Car Service. 473-422-1011. Rent a car, SUV, CRV. Give us a call. Rent car in Grenada. Why?
Ride along. Join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease.
Why?
Ride along. Join.
If you need t-shirt printing, you gotta check out Instaprint Grenada. Instaprint located inside the Esplanade Mall. Instaprint Grenada. Check them out today. Instaprint Grenada. Don't forget, guys, this Saturday we're gonna be riding. Aboard the Ride e-bike excursions and tours.
Ride along live worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the vibe. Amazing host leading the ride. Power to the people, we shine.
Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program today.
Caribbean spirit.
Also look out for the Ride the Wave or bikes. Yeah. Soon in Grenada. Catch you guys again tomorrow.
Dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along. Join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along. Join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong.